What is
we're
up,
live.
you guys?
Yeah,
We're
baby.
live.
I thought I was just gonna wait for the game. I was like, all right,
Yeah,
here we
let's
go.
play it. No. So we just watched part 2 of Zack Snyder's Justice League, which was called Age of Heroes or The Age of Heroes. It was a fire episode. If you guys want to watch it with us, yeah, it's a tremendous episode. If you guys want to watch it with us, consider being a member. Then you can join the members only stream. We just watched it. It was badass. It was the entire history lesson is so much more epic than what we got in the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
Anthony, what did you think about part 2?
I thought it was fire, man. I mean, obviously extended history lesson. History lesson and Justice League it feels like it doesn't. I mean, it's there to explain something, but like it's there to like give everybody a reason as to why certain things are happening. But also in this one, though, there's so much more expanded upon, and you get to see a lot of things that you don't get to see in the other one. Especially the biggest part of it is just simply Darkseid. You know what I'm saying? So that makes it even 1,000 times better than what we got for the first one. But yeah, no, I like it. I like the interaction between her and Bruce, like the actual explanation of certain things, and yeah, I loved it, man.
It was badass.
Yeah,
Ryan,
yeah.
how about you?
Yeah, no, it was a really good movie. I like it a lot, and I like the arrow scene.
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. I like. I love the exposition. You know, the history lesson. Watching the history lesson, seeing the old gods, if you will. You know, from Greek gods. And I mean, and seeing, of course, the lantern and all that, and seeing Darkseid fail, before he fails at the end, if we'll see that or not. But I mean, at least we got to see something. Like he's not just amassing things; he's actually in the shits he's in the shit.
He has the shit.
He's fighting, right? And he's he's not just letting his minions do shit. He's actually jumping out of the ship and he's smacking the ground with the with his weapon,
giving it like a lava tattoo on the ground.
Yeah. He's like, "Could anyone read this?"
A lava tattoo. I like that.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah, but no, it's a good movie. Fire.
And I thought it was so cool just to see him in live action, and that's one thing that we didn't get to see in the previous version because that was cut out in favor of the other guy.
There he is.
There you go.
Love me.
That's so gross.
I was surprised though. Like I did think that Steppenwolf was going to be at that battle, but then based on what they talk about, essentially when this is all happening, that's when Darkseid, or at the time Uxas, when he kind of loses his throne and he has to fight for it back because they're trying to basically stage a coup and take over, and so that's why Steppenwolf wasn't there. And then eventually
Steppenwolf wasn't there.
But see, it makes you wonder. I mean, do they travel at the speed of light? Like how do they travel in their ships? How fast can they travel? I wonder. Because I mean, pretty fast.
I would say.
I mean, Apocalypse is outside of like time and space, so
yeah. So
yeah.
So there's no real answer to that, Andre.
There is no real answer. What's up, Katsuka? Round Rare in the chat saying even Uxas had a character arc in the history lesson scene. Yeah, he did. It told a lot about his character, which is pretty cool. What's up, Caleb? And we got Anthony Beltran here as well.
What up, guys?
I hope you enjoyed my.
I'm glad that you're here.
I'm glad that you're here. We got Austin Lynn. What's going down, Austin?
What up, Austin?
What up?
Hey.
We got Hello Peter.
Hello, Peter.
Kamuzu, what's going on, man? So the I like the way that they did with the Green Lantern. Yulin Gar. I liked how he looked. He just looked hella alien. You're just that is not from our planet. Tight. You know what I mean? Like he just looks like totally different. And then if you look at the way he's illustrated in the comic books, he's very similar to that. Although he looks a little more goofier in the comics. He's got like a longer snout.
Yeah, he's like a Silver Age.
Oh no,
like character. I'm like,
but
that's so random. That's such a random pick.
It is, but I thought it was cool.
Yeah, but it makes sense. It is the past. So yeah,
it is the past, and they totally whooped the Darkseid's army's ass.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
can't believe.
at no point.
I know some. Oh yeah, go on.
No, I was saying, at no point did it seem like they were they were losing. You know, it seemed like the whole time they were winning. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like Darkseid was like, oh fuck, this kind of sucks.
Yeah,
I
no,
should
it's
have brought like tanks and fighter jets, and we're just on the ground with parademons running around.
And like, I know some comic book fans who like say like, "Oh, Darkseid was such a bitch in that scene." He wasn't really Darkseid; he was Euxis, for God's sake.
Yeah, that's
It's
the thing
so
too.
stupid. People just love to complain. I swear to God.
What's up, sickness?
Yeah.
Oh, sickness.
And then,
what's up, man?
Yeah, he looks very lizard-like.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
agree. He looks hella lizard-like, and that's what was cool about it.
Yeah, it looks like a lizard.
It looks like a lizard. But I mean, going back to it, like I liked how it showed the scene in Themyscira, how you see them doing this whole
ceremony.
the whole ceremony. Thank you.
Yeah.
To bring out the arrows of Artemis, and then they were fucking huge ass fucking arrows. It was, what I mean, she had a hold with 2 hands. It was so fucking big.
Yeah, that's a big arrow.
It had to travel thousands of miles, man.
Yeah, you can't have a small arrow and have it travel thousands of miles, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can't.
There you go.
Although it would make sense to have a smaller arrow travel farther, unless you're super strong. Anyway,
Yeah.
and then we also, one thing that we talked about was, I mean, that whole ritual scene was longer in this version. You got to see more shots of it. And I think like she even says the arrow of Artemis, and I want to say in Justice League she doesn't even say that. They just
probably not.
They just hand her the fucking arrow. Like, okay,
yeah.
And like, there are 2 Artemises. Like, there's the Amazon, who isn't she played by like a boxer, like a real life boxer, like in Wonder Woman?
In Wonder Woman, yes, she is.
Yeah,
Artemis
I liked that one. She was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
the one who's like
this
kicking.
one, it's the Olympian one.
Then you have the Artemis from Young Justice.
That's a good one. She's also in Stargirl at the moment. Well, like not. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she is. It's pretty cool.
The Amazonian cloaks were fire. Yeah, they were really nice. And I think Axel, you were talking about that as well. How it kind of resembled that armor.
Yeah, the golden armor. I'm like, were they setting that up? Like, I don't think they were, but like,
I don't think they were. But they were,
they definitely were. It was just a cool design choice. They were like, oh, let's just take that.
Yeah, exactly. But no, the whole episode was really cool. I mean, bridging off of the first one too, which so much happened in that first one. It was so fucking badass. And there were so many epic scenes in the first one to lead into this one where you have more storytelling, and then it goes into obviously the history lesson, which there's so much of it was cut out. And what's weird too is that they actually like changed some of the scenes too, unless like Ryan would say it was an alternate take or an alternate shot, because in Justice League you see Yulin Gar run and kind of fly up, along, like, as he's running with the other soldiers, and he makes that big hammer and he's hitting all the parademons with it. And that scene wasn't even in this battle.
No,
instead he just got up.
Yeah, he just used like a boom, like a laser. Yeah. Like, I mean, you're a Green Lantern, you should know how to use more. Like, make a chain.
Well, this was a long time ago, so
yeah. I mean,
Ryan,
at least think of something.
You're a big fan of Green Lantern. I mean,
I am.
Did you like the way he attacked in Justice League, or the way he fought in this one instead? Because in Justice League, he had the big hammer. Remember?
The hammer. I mean, the hammer was cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
The hammer was cool. I liked it. A lot of and a lot of more ancient Green Lanterns wouldn't really use constructs. They would just shoot laser or shoot beams or whatever of light. So it wasn't until they started like perfecting their craft and really creating constructs and things like that. What's up?
What's up?
What up, Phil?
But yeah, no, I mean, I dug it. I mean, even in the Justice League, I like watching Green Lanterns. I like the Green Lantern movie aspects of it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see more. And
here's this next one. He like breaks out. It's pretty cool.
Let's see. Hold on. Yeah. That's from New 52, right? Yeah.
See, you can see it in here. but it's not colored. It's like,
Yeah.
Bro,
you can't tell.
Okay, so
Can't
Master Swag comes in with a $2 super chat. What's up, man?
What's
He
up,
says
man?
Dodgers all day, baby. I hope everyone's having a good day.
I heard you were on his channel last night.
I was, but you know what?
Congratulations.
To come in here and talk about the Dodgers. I'm sorry, it's you guys are in second place for a reason. But thank you so much for tuning in.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shots. But no, it's you know, so Phil, unfortunately, you were not able to join us for the watch party, but you've seen this movie a million times.
Yeah.
We're talking about part 2, which included the scene in Themyscira, where she fires the arrow, where the scene where Diana goes down and goes into the hall that had all the what do you call it?
All of
The mural. The
Right.
mural.
The history lesson. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the history lesson battle. So we were talking about how much we love that battle scene, that it was just so much better in this version than it was in Justice League.
I actually like the introduction to it because like we get those really awesome quick shots that Zack Snyder likes to do with Wonder Woman taking apart the wood piece and putting in the gasoline, then lighting on fire, and then jumping down promptly. Like I thought all of that leading into the mural was dope, and even the mural itself was just beautiful. Like everything about that was just awesome.
Yeah, I also like how he did that because, you know, there's always going to be somebody out there that's going to be like, where'd you get that fucking torch from? Well, let me show you.
Yeah, if she just would have landed, it would have been like, hey, where would that come from? They're fucking cheating.
Yeah. Somebody would have said something. There would have been somebody who
Captain Marvel just would have lit her hand up.
Oh no, he went there.
But no, she made a torch, which was pretty cool. I was like, wow.
Mhm.
And then you know, I think it was Axel was saying that, you know, how people were complaining about how when she landed, they're like, oh, she would have broke those heels.
They did. Right?
Yeah, actually, you know the YouTube channel Looper?
Yes.
Yeah, they literally made a whole video about that conversation. It's so stupid. They clearly had nothing else to talk about. So
But like, if she can fly, then she can control the rate at which she, you know.
If you can fly, you can dodge a ball.
yeah, that's true.
That's right.
Dodge a wrench.
I've heard people say that Diana Torch scene could have been cut. I mean, obviously it could have. You saw how it looked. It didn't turn out very well without it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that could have been cut, but I mean,
Definitely.
why? Yeah, I mean, who cares? It's like this is his movie, how he wanted to tell it. So you know, be happy with that shit, man. You know, great. You know, I mean, like I'm not. There are things in here that I'm not particularly fond of, but I mean, overall, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, not every movie is going to be perfect.
Exactly.
Right.
But at this point, because we're getting this cut of the movie, an extended version, a huge, 4-hour movie, why not have it in there? I mean, come on. You know, it's like people would say, oh, this could have been cut down to, 3.5 hours. But it's like, is it really necessary to do that at this point? No.
Right.
No.
Right. I agree. It doesn't need to be cut. It's fine the way it is. This is a story that he wanted to tell, wanted to put it out there, allow the guy to do it, and enjoy more. You know, sometimes more is just fine.
And then Ryan kind of beat me to it, but yes, the assembly cut was 5 hours long. So there's another hour worth of, but a lot of it could be alternate takes. It could be a lot of different things. Brian, you're a filmmaker. Is that right?
that went like really silent right after. Like, you're a filmmaker. Crickets.
I'm like, you're a filmmaker, right? No, I'm just kidding. I mean, the other hour could be a lot of just alternate takes and alternate cuts of the same scenes. You think, or you think there's actually an hour worth of footage that just didn't make it?
I mean, there is that scene with like Batman going to like a parademon nest, whatever that is, and then there's also the Green Lantern scene, which I assume it like takes place like 3 hours before Martian Manhunter. Like it's like at 2 a.m. in the morning, and then he's like, "Oh, okay, I'm going back to bed." And then like 3 hours, and then like hours later, you're just like, "Oh, for God's sake, who's next?" And then
There's
it's just
also
Martian Manhunter.
There's also a sequence where Gordon says, "It's good to see you working with people again," and then Aquaman pops up and says, "Just like a bat, I dig it." And Batman's maybe temporary. Like that's not in the Snyder cut.
No, that's not.
Yeah,
And that was
Even
obviously
the intro.
I feel like that's something he shot, but I feel like that's something he shot for the studio for
Yeah,
the theatrical
yeah.
cut.
like Jeff Johns wrote that probably and said this would be really good. And all right, well let's just try it out and we'll just film it. But I mean, I'm glad he didn't because I mean, it kind of throws the flow off of the movie. If you had scenes like that just kind of in there, it would just seem kind of out of place. Like, oh,
And also
okay.
for that one sequence where he finds the parademon nest, he did not shoot that.
Yeah,
So
he
that
never
is
shot
not
it.
on the. That,
yeah,
that,
never shot
that's
that.
not.
yeah.
Yeah, he never shot it.
Yeah, we learned that from
confidence.
Strone. Strone told us that just wasn't
Yeah.
one of the scenes that he was able to do.
He wanted to, but he
Yeah.
wasn't able to. Yeah,
It would have been in the pickups.
Yeah. And
right,
I mean, he wasn't. You know, he
would have been
couldn't do
absolutely
that.
fire, to be
Fuck.
honest.
It would have been.
yeah.
It would have added so
Yeah.
much more. I mean, and that's when we first saw that bat tank. I thought that's where that scene was from. Like he was just going through that old, destroyed part of Gotham where Doomsday and all them were, or Zod, Doomsday, or whatever. I thought because it was like destroyed. You couldn't go in there with a Batmobile. You'd have to go in there with a tank. So I thought we would see it there, but seeing it at the end was cool. But I really love seeing it.
Yeah.
So
Like if you look closely, you can see the mutants tied up. Like I think there's 3 of them, and he doesn't even run them over. Like you would assume, like he would. Oh, you just run them over. It's Batfleck, but no, he doesn't.
Yeah. That was one of the sequences. That was one of the time. Remember Ryan used to stream? It'd be like fucking 11:30 a.m. Like it was literally like 11:30 a.m. We were streaming, and they dropped that. Zack dropped that, and then we were just like that. At that, when I first saw that tank, that's when I stopped making predictions on what was going to be in this movie. I was like, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah,
that shit blew my mind so hard. Like I had to find it in the book, and I was like, I'm done. I can't predict anything that's going to happen in this movie because that shit right there was way unexpected. So
yeah.
But also, it would have been terrifying to see Batman creep into this fucking place. And there's just fucking nests hanging from the ceiling. You know what I mean? He has to be hella quiet because of that shit would have been fire, man.
But I mean, like that makes more sense because in order for Steppenwolf to build his army, they would have to kidnap these people and then turn them into parademons. Sure, and that's how he builds his army up, which would make total sense. So that would have been really cool to see that because it would have gave them more like we are kidnapping people. Remember they talked about that. Or you think he fights crime for 20 years and he starts kidnapping people, but really in reality the parademons were going around doing that and building their army of more parademons, which makes a lot of sense because at one point at the end when he's attacking the stronghold, I mean there's fucking parademons everywhere, like there's hordes of them, and you're like, where'd they all come from? Like they just keep opening boom tubes and they kept flying in. They don't really describe that because he couldn't have that scene in the movie, so they just kind of glazed over that. Like, well, they're just bad guys, they're there.
I just thought of when you said like why would he start kidnapping people? I thought, since it's J.K. Simmons, it's like think, Crispus Allen, think. Why would he do that?
Yeah, like I'm Invincible.
I'm the man.
I feel like if the second and third films, whatever happened, that nightmare inspired Batmobile would be from that tank.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's my hope.
Either like Mad Max
I think
style.
so.
Yeah.
I would definitely think that he would use that.
Because
it's already there. It's already
because I remember when he dropped it and I asked, I was like, is that the tank from The Dark Knight Returns? And he goes, no, he calls it the War Machine. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
The War Machine, yes.
Boom, you looking for this?
Yeah, it was totally badass, dude. I mean, like just the fact that the War Machine was in the movie, it was just cool. It was like holy shit, fire, and like the way it came together too. The VFX guys they were talking about in one of the interviews that Zack had brought that up. He was like, yeah, it'd be cool as if it was a tank. If we had the tank in the movie, and they're like, oh yeah, whatever. And he kept bringing it up, and they're like, all right, you know what? Hey, just start drawing it now because he's gonna want it in the movie. And then they just kind of started expanding upon it from that point forward. It was like, fuck, it was, but it worked so well too. It was just so badass.
Sure, yeah,
looks so good. Looked just like it hopped off the page.
Yeah, that shit.
It did. I'm just gonna say it did.
I'm trying to find the image of it too. I'm like failing right now,
dude. That shit was. it's that's one of the things. Like obviously, like everybody's hype levels like leading up to that movie, and especially when those things were coming out, which was like leading up to his final trailer for Zack Snyder.
Yeah, right.
Like those days, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, he was dropping shit, and and so your hype level was already through the fucking roof, and then he drops that one, and I was like, wait, is that the tank? Okay, I'm deceased now. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because there's never been anything about that tank being in the movie, and so when we saw it, we're like, "What the fuck is happening?" And we had so many speculations on what was happening in that scene. We're like, "When did this take place? What's happening?" You know, and
But one of the things with that is also to us, that tank is iconic. Like in the Dark Knight Return, that tank is fucking like that. That thing actually being it was part of the story. It was a character in the story, and so like that shit's iconic to us. So to see that he brought that to the screen, even for just that little bit of time that it's there, fucking let's go. So yeah, and I saw that, and I almost was about to be like, yo, who do I pay my last respects to? Like who do I get to take care of my personal effects? Because I'm about to be done when this movie comes out.
And we never saw him again.
And that's another scene too. He said, Ryan says, "I love the Aquaman pier scene. The song is too. The song too is so perfect. Yeah, no, definitely. The song was fire. Again, that song and the song that later they used for the Flash scene, totally unexpected. I did not expect to have those types of songs being in that scene. I didn't know what to expect, but I did not expect that. Yeah, Song of Siren. And both those songs are fire in that scene. It makes the scene so much heavier and better, and it says a lot about his character, just in that scene alone. And we were talking about how when he entered the bar, they're listening. I think they're listening to that song, but it was more just like a
background
it was diegetic.
As opposed to listening to "Icky Thump" by the White Stripes, which I like the song, but it didn't fit in that bar. Like, why would they be listening to that? They'd be like, "Who the fuck?"
Yeah, I think to Andre's point, I like that song when it showcased the very first trailer from Comic-Con.
The trailer,
right? But when it's like,
hype.
But like, if you use it in the movie, it can either work or it can't. And I think to the theatrical cut's point, it just did not work well. But the Snyder cut, like that was it was easily the better choice, hands down.
Hands down. And then we know now that in Zack's version, that whole scene or that whole dialogue of the guy being like, "Oh, monsters. They flew right through me boat," and then he has the fucking boat. He says he goes right through me boat. And then
Lucky
he takes a drink. He looks at his hand. And he's got the Peridian blood on his hand. I'm like, I'm like, so wait, you fucking grabbed this guy and you swam him to shore. Who knows how far out in the ocean you were, and you still have Peridian blood on your hands? Like, come on, man! Like that shit would have washed off.
It would have washed off. Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff Johns. That's consistent.
So like, just put the blood on his hands, and he'll be like, "Hey, wait a minute, maybe he is telling the truth. I'm gonna go check things out." It just flows better, and that's the problem with the theatrical cut is that they had to add all these stupid scenes because they had to try and create their own narrative to how these scenes connected, and ultimately that was their biggest undoing was trying to. Was with the scenes that they added and the parts that they added, audio or even scenes, it was so terrible. But this one, it made so much more sense.
I like how Andre made the old fisherman a fucking leprechaun and shit, man.
That's how he sounds. If I could play it right now without being taken down, I'd play it. But that's how he sounds.
Hey, you took my boat.
He's like,
he took my boat.
Monsters. Through me boat. Monsters. That's what he says. Like,
the magic
what? Why is this guy an Irishman all of a sudden? I was like, whatever. So that scene was restored and it was so much better. I mean, even the shot of him coming out of the bar, with the wind blowing and the shit on the fence, it's just everything about it was just like, dude, this is fucking badass. And I love how the water just kind of engulfs him, and the next thing he's in the water. You know what I mean?
And he was like, even to the backdrop of "There is a kingdom, there is a king," and it's like that's totally putting him on the path to becoming the King of Atlantis.
Yes.
And I feel like the setup there throughout
definitely.
this whole movie just kind of puts him on that path, and I really appreciate that a lot more.
And don't forget cutting out Willem Dafoe. And
The whole
we talked
entire
about that.
Yeah.
The whole character.
The whole damn character gone.
Yeah.
He wasn't
Fuck outta
even
here.
mentioned.
No, I don't even think he was in the
But it's
theatrical
crazy.
cut. Yeah,
It's crazy that they would cut him out, yet he would be a huge part in Aquaman.
Right.
It was like, but yet you cut him out of this movie. Like, are you? Because it's like, and it's similar to what Ryan was saying a while back. That basically they were so conscious on how to keep this movie at 2 hours that they literally cut parts out in order to make it
right
under 2 hours.
I mean, they did the same thing to BVS. They were like, it's got to be this time, and so we can get butts and seats. And at that point in time, for Justice League at least, or Justice League rather, they were like, we know it's not going to be a coherent film. We still want to get the 2 hours. We don't want to get butts and seats. We know that people are just going to want to see, the Justice League, just on screen together because they've never seen that before. But yeah, I mean, they didn't. God, they
didn't care.
Screwed it up. Yeah, they didn't care.
They didn't care.
They really
They
just
didn't
screwed
care
the
at
whole
all.
thing up. What they did. It's fucking terrible what they did.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
really,
you shot. No.
it's really unfortunate.
Whoa,
Like,
whoa,
Whoa.
See, toxic.
Uh,
No, but it just sucks. It just sucks
I
what he
can't
did.
do it.
He's got to do it.
yeah, it's just
And he's gone. He's
it's
gone.
truly unfortunate. I mean, like I feel like as a former fan of Jeff Johns' writing and through a lot of
it is a
DC,
shame.
it's a real shame because he was president of DC Films and he talked all this shit about bringing in Joss Whedon and like, I don't know. There was just a long time ago where I felt Jeff Johns was the guy for the job, and after everything that has come out, I'm just like, never again. I will never support anything that man does.
Yeah.
He has been like a big like part of me writing comics. Like he look at this, he's writing all the shit.
Right.
Like, get him off! Get him off!
Get him off. I don't want to see that.
Like,
But,
he's
Get out of here.
Yeah,
his
you know,
name is everywhere.
he's written some of the
reinvented-
most seminal Green Lantern stuff. He tutored
Yeah.
under Richard Donner for a time. It's like, dude, what are you
He
doing?
brought back Hal Jordan. He created
And Barry Allen.
Stargirl. He brought back Barry Allen too. And
I mean, he's a great writer that should have just stayed as a fucking
Comics,
writer.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even going in with Zack Snyder and Jim Lee's, just as like
As a
I'm gonna help
dialogue
you with
worker, sure,
story.
yeah.
right, yeah, he may be good at his job, but is he a good person? No. Was John Lennon a good person? No, he was a good
I'm not gonna
singer,
comment
but no.
on if he's a good person or not. Because personally, I don't know the guy, but
Yeah,
I think the choices that he made in the production of this movie were the wrong ones.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. I'm sure he would have loved everything to work out, but it did not. Now, the thing, too, is that, for all we know, they brought him on as a consultant, and it just took off from there. Pretty soon they were just like, hey, started adding more shit, giving him more responsibilities, and all of a sudden it just kind of ballooned into this, this kind of monster.
Yeah.
But who knows? I can hear.
Well,
Ryan's
they
in
were
the
going
background.
through, they were going through crisis. So they're, so he sort of, was there, I want to say at the right time, because they were just shuffling things. They were like, who do we put here? Who do we make in charge? I mean, he's already here. Go ahead and make him a president of DC Films.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, I think it was just a matter of like, he was just sort of right place, right time. And he had, good rapport with, with the people that were working, like, Jim Lee and all them, they know him. They can vouch for him, and he's like, yeah, he knows these characters. He knows these characters. He's got intimate knowledge and whatnot. And they're intimate.
And I don't understand how he
Imminent.
messes it up in movies. I don't understand. He does it well in comics, but in movies, it's just terrible. I don't understand why.
I would even say some of the stuff he's worked on TV isn't even all that spectacular, to be brutally honest with you.
I mean, Stargirl is his own creation, so it is a close character to him. So I do enjoy that show. But like, does he work on any other shows?
He's an EP
Titans.
on Superman and Lois and Titans.
Yep, and all Titans.
Oh,
And will be on
Titans.
Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I understand he will be on Green Lantern because he is a big part of that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just don't want him to like mess it up or anything. Like,
Well, I mean,
Just
he
keep
was
it
a part of
distinct.
the Green Lantern movie as well. So I mean,
Right.
Yeah, he
way
was.
back when, but he was nowhere near in the same level of power that he had over
no,
like Justice League.
that is correct. I'll give you that.
The Green Lantern movie is really not that bad, if I can be honest. It's way overhated.
It has good concepts in it.
Yep.
And,
Yeah,
and
it's
that's
got
what I
great
like about it.
concepts.
But like the guitar riffs and all that takes you out of it. You know, a good score can make a great film.
Yes.
A horrible score can destroy a film.
Yes.
And they had and they didn't know they had a great cast. Everything was great except for the villain. The villain was subpar.
Yes.
They really didn't know what to do. They threw in Parallax and where they should have just either kept it at Hammond or built up, something else, just or taken, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, they should have taken Hal off world and not had him be on Earth.
Yeah,
in that way it could have opened up so much. He could have come back and had that Blair, his wife, that
Star
tension
Sapphire.
between he and Blair, Star Sapphire, right?
I mean, it is good that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively didn't meet.
They did meet on that set. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and they got married, and they have family now, and they're very happy. So I guess
they still married?
Yes.
Yeah, they're still married.
I think if I would have done anything differently with Green Lantern, I probably wouldn't have used Parallax out the gate. I feel like that's something you kind of lead to with.
I would have started off with the Krona.
I actually would have done Manhunters.
Yeah,
Manhunters would have been dope. But I like what they did in the animated series, where they started off with Red Lantern and then brought you into the lore.
Yeah, I like that.
Like they made original characters like Razor and
The thing is, if that movie had been a better villain, that's like what a lot of people like when I just came back, I heard you talking about like the villain. If they had picked a better one, Mark Stronger Sinestro fucking fired.
I love awesome casting. He is good at villains.
So in the sequel, in a potential sequel to that shit would have been fire.
That's that post-credit sequence where he puts on the yellow ring.
Yes,
that's the prototype to the Legion of Doom that we got at the theatrical cut of Justice League.
Yeah, it's like
same thing.
Why don't we start a Lantern Corps of my own?
Yeah.
I like how.
Go ahead.
I like how if they made ever post credit scenes for villains in the sequel, imagine the Batfleck movie, they making the Joker's just in the bat. He talks with other people and he's like, what if we started a Joker family like they have our Bat family? And
I honestly feel like had things gone like the way that intended initially, and Ben Affleck got to make his Batman movie, I feel like if there were to be maybe a post-credit sequence or the movie ended with one villain going off to doing something else, absolutely probably had to be the Riddler.
Yeah, and there was going to be a Deathstroke movie, right?
Yeah, well, Deathstroke series it was going to be.
Deathstroke,
they were going to have a series.
Awesome.
Oh, it's sexist.
Awesome.
I thought it was sexy.
Sexist, Ryan. Oh wow.
It's sex is Ryan.
That's what it is. Sex is Ryan.
Oh yeah.
Isn't Ryan.
All right. The stream is going downhill. So
it's going downhill. The other thing too is that when these photos were released, it fucking blew all of our minds when we got to see this image released by Zack Snyder, and this one as well.
Oh, his hair is not in a bun.
Yeah, we're like, oh my god. I mean, but this was on the heels of an article that had dropped that said that I think this is the one where you said that Zack Snyder Justice League is a pipe dream.
Yep.
It was from the rap from fucking Dumberto, and then Zack dropped these immediately. Like, hey, go fuck yourself. Basically, you know what I mean? He was like, oh, you gotta talk shit? Well, I'll show you some more pictures that you haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
And here's Willem Dafoe, who we had not seen, and in fact, it was always rumored that he was in the movie, but we didn't know in what capacity. We didn't know anything. And then when he released these, we were like, holy shit, there he is.
Well, they had like along with announcing Amber Heard as Mira or other people, they did while Zack Snyder's Justice League was still in production. Well, while he was still on the movie, they did announce that
he was Volko.
That he had been cast as Volko. So yeah.
Was Ocean Master going to have a cameo in the film?
No, as far as I know,
he
he was
wasn't
not.
cast until they started working on Aquaman.
Yeah, that was
Like Patrick
James Wan.
Wilson. If you don't know already, I think he was the voice of like the president.
Yeah, he was in BBS.
Yeah, on the phone call. I'm like, is that Patrick Wilson? I'm like, that sounds so much like him.
Axel, you know who you're talking to here? Of course we knew that. Come on.
Okay, good.
Like as you were saying it, like all four of us were like finishing your statement. Yeah, BBS, yeah, the statement. Yeah. But no, and I think that going into it, they hadn't cast him yet, so they said, okay, so we're gonna reference his character, and that will be kind of the soft reference for that character, which was really cool.
Was there anything about Aquaman that was like changed like after like Justice League was really? I mean, like I know there was like a few stuff changed, but like was the story like ever gonna be like? Was it like
they changed the dad? Mara's dad.
Well, that's Mara's character. They altered, but as for
he had a British accent.
As for
and the accent,
as for Aquaman, they didn't really alter too much of what he was gonna do. Based on the storyboards, it really doesn't have an effect.
I think the first film had the storyboard stayed intact. The only big difference I think would be Black Manta and Orm would both be locked in a desert prison, whereas at the end of the film that we now have, Aquaman's with Shin, Orm is likely in a desert prison.
Yeah, I would have liked it if Lex was like collecting.
Or did they show Black Manta getting captured? I thought he just got
because at the end he's with Stephen Chin.
Yeah,
Stephen Shin picks him up off the boat.
It would have been cool if it was Lex Luthor who got him, but I mean, I understand why.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Actually, I never really thought about that, Axel, but like I would have preferred that over what we got. But then again, at that point, because at that point we already seen Lex out of jail, so it would have made sense if he would have picked him up. Like, oh, cool! Like now he's assembling his, in Justice League. But
I think the biggest thing. For me, I mean, like Phil was just saying, like as far as like the storyboards and stuff, it's pretty much intact except for the vocal shit. I guess that's like the only big thing I could think of is Zack Snyder went with the way that
Nova Joe got it right.
Yeah, sex is right.
Okay. And
that's the hashtag.
I saw like in concept art of Aquaman, there was like the Justice League were involved, and I'm not kidding. There was like an Atlantean invasion in Sydney, which is where I live. I'm like, what the fuck? That would have been awesome. That would have been so freaking cool. Like I would have wanted.
I also heard too that like the shot, the concept art where it has Superman flying in and it had the flying fox. I heard that was fake.
Yeah.
I've also heard that was not an actual picture, that somebody added those elements into it. Only because like if you look at Superman, like he looks like abnormally large compared to like everybody else. But I mean, I don't know. I would have preferred to have them in the movie. That would have been fucking badass.
Yeah, it's like Throne of Atlantis style, but yeah.
You know what? I gotta send Neil a link.
You can only do it through Instagram.
I know, it's so annoying.
Neil, don't accept this invite.
Wow. Yeah, I can't see Neil coming on after that comment.
He'll come on. He always never mind. Sounds gross.
You're so annoying, Neil.
He comes on very regular. I sent it from my personal account because I don't know how to log into my other account on my computer. Anyway, so I just sent you a link, Neil. So if you want to jump on, go right ahead.
Why did I get a link from the Four Nerds?
What? People need to stop with the BS of saying that the Flash movie is going to be connected to Snyder. I mean, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know how much they're going to reference anything.
It will be loosely connected. They will not outright deny that the Snyder Cut exists or whatever.
I mean, I don't want them to reference Darkseid every freaking 10 minutes like an MCU movie, but I would I would like 1 or 5 references to it, but yeah, but
that's a lot.
I just finished watching Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and there are a ton of references to a lot of different Batman and TMNT related things across different mediums. As far as the Flash is concerned, I kind of want to lean towards, again, I know it's probably going to give me some shit, but, Patty Jenkins did once say that none of the DC directors consider Justice League canon. Now, whether or not you want to take that at face value and accept it, entirely up to you. Obviously, I don't know. To Andre's point, we just really don't know because Andy Muschietti is, he's kind of fresh in his directorial debuts. I mean, he's coming off of It. They're getting a lot of New Line guys, but also they're picking up a lot of horror people like David F. Sandberg, James Wan, now Andy Muschietti, right?
And David Sandberg and
so then next
didn't Walter Hamada come up like horror movies?
No, I wouldn't be surprised to see Lee Wan will eventually tackle a DC project. That would not at all surprise me somewhere down the line.
Yeah,
he's one of Wan's other guys
with her trash 84 movie. Yeah, I mean, Wonder Woman 84 sucks.
That comment I think was even before 84 came out too, so it might be a bit dated.
Oh, was it before? Yeah, I think it was.
I think it was before 84 came out.
Yeah, well,
no, it was. It was when Snyder was helping her with
Fandom. I think might have been right around the time of last year's Fandom.
It was.
It was right before it.
Right.
It was right before it.
Yeah, because kind of what I've seen from Patty is that she jumps on whoever she jumps on board whoever's ship she needs to. Just to save face.
I mean, at the same time, though, these
honestly,
are all...
like she shouldn't have made like a Wonder Woman movie without Zack Snyder involved. Because, like,
honestly, she shouldn't have written the movie with Jeff Johns. That
was the problem. That is true.
I mean, guys, you're not going to turn down money like that. It's like
you're not wrong.
Of course,
like
not,
you want the money, but do you want it that way?
But again,
yes, that is how Hollywood works. Yes, they do.
But
unfortunately, that is.
I also think that I mean, this is not a fact whatsoever, but I wouldn't be surprised if the deal that Zack got to make to finish Zack Snyder Justice League included you have to be a part of the marketing for Wonder Woman 84, and you have to promote it. Because he was supporting the movie the entire way, and the movie came out, and it was like, "Oh, this is kind of stupid."
I don't want to be part of this.
So I mean, it makes you wonder if, if that was part of the.
Well, I mean, Stone Quarry was attached to Wonder Woman.
So he's going to support regardless. They probably didn't have to tell him to do anything. His production company was.
It's money,
but was he brought on later on?
He's been on the whole time because he has that residual thing.
Yeah,
where he always gets money, and he's getting money for Batman, he's getting money for Aquaman, he's getting money for the Flash. I mean, he's attached. Deborah and Zack are attached to these characters until Warner Brothers
don't use them anymore.
Not use
them, seriously,
right?
the future for DC is just worrying. I'm just like, but yeah, still.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty.
It's a tough line being a DC fan. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. I mean, for Marvel, I don't want to be a Marvel fan because, they just put out the same shit all over and over. But, bro, how stupid are Marvel fans trashing on Dune? Stupid.
That was Dune?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's I think at this point in time, with us, especially being obviously Zack Snyder fans, DC fans, or whatever, we like it all. There's Marvel movies that I absolutely love. The Winter Soldier is absolutely
Shang-Chi. We both love Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi was fire. What if I firmly sit in the middle of both of these things and can enjoy things from both sides.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we've been able to as now we're veterans in this shit to the point where I saw it yesterday. I saw a lot of. I'm not sure if they're 100% Marvel fans, but kind of bomb. What do they call it? Bomb reviewing.
Review bomb. On Letterboxd of all
places. Are they really doing that?
Yes.
Yeah. They are doing
that. Because Villanueva came out and made that statement, which we've already established. He got asked that. He didn't wake up in the morning and say, "Yo, let me make this thing." He got asked that, and he gave his honest opinion. So they're review bombing Dune, and it's crazy because when there were a lot of people who are Zack Snyder fans who review bombed the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, were those real people or were those bots?
I don't know, but they got clapped. They got whoever it was.
Yeah,
they
got
clapped.
did.
I don't see much clapping on these Disney fans review bombing Dune. don't see much of it. But like I said, we're veterans to this shit. Like we've experienced it. It's hard being a DC fan. We've already established that. Phil just said it. It's like it just goes over. You know what I mean? Like it's not worth making an entire stream about. Like,
or
it just flies.
To even go on the other side of the coin, like I'm not a huge fan of Captain Marvel, but I will say it was nonsense for some people to outright just review bomb that movie because of how good it was doing, despite how the quality of that film, regardless.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind that it made $1 billion. Was it $1 billion?
It was $1 billion, yeah.
I don't mind that it made $1 billion. I personally just didn't like the movie. So I'm like, okay, but I'm not going to sit there and trash it just because it made a whole, shit ton of money. Like, I mean, as far as like, if you like that shit, fucking
like it's one thing to like civilly discuss why we might not like something, right? Especially case in point, like Captain Marvel. That movie's arguably not even aimed at any of us creatively, because it's aimed at.
It wasn't made
audience.
for you.
Bingo.
It wasn't made for you, exactly.
100%.
But real quick, going back to the episode we watched. Way back when. So like I was saying, you got to see Volko, which was fire. You got to see, of course, the history lesson where we got to actually see Darkseid in action, in live action, moving around and fucking shit up. He looked incredible.
I think Ryan asked in the chat what our favorite shot was from part 2 of Zack Snyder's Justice League. I think my favorite part is when Darkseid lands on the ground, pulls the dirt with his fists, and then just and slams his shit on the ground.
My favorite shot is when he's about to catch the Green Lantern ring. Surgical shot. Like,
that's a good shot too.
Fuck, like it's the end of the world if he gets that ring, but he clearly didn't.
That was interesting that he almost got it. Like it stopped and like waited. You know what I mean? It almost like it was interested in him for a minute. Like, hey, who are you?
So like in Justice League, when like the ring flows away, it looks very similar to like Omega beams. Like it goes and I was wondering, were they using that for? Was that just reused like for the Omega beams and like the original stuff? But like, no, I didn't have it. So, yeah,
I mean, who knows at that point? But that was cool because it just kind of left that idea in the air. Like, oh, what if you would have grabbed that? That would have been something different. But he didn't. Instead, he got shot by the arrows of Artemis, and they're huge fucking arrows. They're like spears almost. Like,
they're
he pulls one out. Like,
you can kind of tell that Artemis, Zeus, and wow, I almost said Steppenwolf. Ares were like the big trio back in the day. Like, you can definitely tell they were. They were the main figureheads.
I like how they, work together and all that. And I was like, oh, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, even this shot here, I thought was really cool. He was just ready for it. Looks like the toy.
Yeah, and like if you think about like Darkseid,
that's the sauce.
Calabac, who else? Desaad, Granny Goodness, and
Big Barda, Scott Free.
No, not those guys. Like who else? Like what's that guy? Like the Death Racer or something? Or Speed Black Racer and
the Black Racer.
Yeah, and Grid. Like if they added Grid to it, like he's from the Crime Syndicate. He's like that. That's kind of like the apocalyptic
female Furies. I would love to see the female Furies.
Yeah,
especially after seeing Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. Is it good? I heard it's a massive freaking story. Is it good?
I love Sucker Punch, man.
I've not seen it.
You've never seen Sucker Punch?
Nah, I never have. It looked cool.
I mean, in all honesty,
it's fire.
I agree, Ryan. I agree. He's like, in all honesty, it's fire. Yeah. Great take, Ryan. Great take, Ryan. No, but what was it? So we also got to see Anthony's favorite character, Professor Lupin.
Oh, okay.
Smashed his axe into Darkseid's shoulder. That was really cool to see them kind of run around and be in action.
Yeah.
And then later you find out that it actually was the actor.
Yes,
who
it
did.
Was.
Because a lot of people were saying that it wasn't, and
Yeah, he posted a picture on like Instagram or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the actor David Thewlis. I can't.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No,
okay.
yeah. Him.
Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever. That guy.
Yeah, but
oh yeah, go on.
I was just saying that he actually did it. It was hilarious because I saw his name in the In the credits, yeah. And I think I messaged the Four Nerds group chat. I was like, "Yo, Professor Lupin was in there, man." They were like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, he was there."
Yeah.
He was there.
Andre had no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea. I was like, "You mean Harry Potter was there?" And,
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Damn it! God,
You're a wizard, Harry Potter.
You're a wizard, Harry.
No, you know.
And like Ares from like the history lesson does look more closely to what the original design of Ares was going to be in Wonder Woman.
And I love this design.
Yeah,
I wish that the end of Wonder Woman he would have looked like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
some people do that.
Yeah,
it still
would have been so much better.
You go from that to that, like, oh.
I mean, he still looks cool in Wonder Woman, but like, I mean, I would have
Look
liked
at
to
that
see
helmet.
more.
Dude, that helmet's like it's a bone from a beast, and he's just wearing it like a dude, like a crown. That's so sauce.
Yo, at the end of Wonder Woman, man, as much as I love that movie, the only thing that was fire about Ares was when he did this with the helmet. When he
that was
I was like,
I was like, I did like that.
I mean, that's a cool way. Well, I mean, he's not just going to
I can't see shit.
Didn't he assemble his armor from the armor or from the material that was around him?
Yeah.
So to me, that kind of makes sense. Like he had the tank that he took apart and he made that into his armor.
Modern. Because it's 1913.
No,
that was 1917.
Y'all wild in the 13. Chat. Yo, every time Draco would say Potter in the movies, it'd be like, why does this P have to be so strong? Potter.
Harry Potter.
Every time they say it, it's kind of like, they just like
Potter.
Put it out of their eye. Harry Potter.
Unless you're Mr. Snape.
Mr.
Potter.
Yeah.
He says, I noticed he never fixed the axe cut in his shoulder pads.
Yeah, it's in the end, like still
it's in there.
Yeah,
I'm not losing
and
this.
On Twitter, I found like some people comparing that scene to when Thor did that to Thanos. I'm like, and some people are speculating, oh my god, did they copy that? I'm like,
it came before.
It was produced
before.
Yeah, it was filmed before. So like, all right, Jeff Johns, what are you leaking to Feige?
I mean,
no.
I mean, I'm not a big believer in that conspiracy. I mean,
I'm a believer.
I'm a big fan of justice.
Get that out of my sight.
Get that almost as bad as Heckman in the super suit. I'm sorry.
And then I saw her face.
Every time she says that, I always think that. I always think the fucking monkeys. I don't think the Smash Mouth.
Donkey, you talking about Donkey from
Matter of fact, I like Puffy.
And in the morning, I'm making waffles.
You sound just like him.
And in the morning, I'm making waffles.
Yeah, dude,
it's funny because when we were at work, that song "I Need a Hero" that song came on, and this one guy was like, "I like the song. It's from Shrek 2." I'm like, it's not really.
And it's like, I'm an ogre.
Yeah, they played that.
Ogres are like onions, and they've got
it felt so
weird. Oh, look, Potter, you got yourself a girlfriend?
Shrek watch party on ACS when?
What you playing
Potter? Yes.
Please and thanks.
Shrek is fire.
Hell yeah.
Shrek is fire.
Shrek is love.
I mean, so he jumped in the air and he smashed into his shoulder. Oh, and then he's like, he's like, oh,
yeah.
I want that toy. I really want that Ares toy where he's got that
one?
helmet. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
I want the Darkseid toy as well, except it's too blue. Like the arm is way too blue. Like,
I mean,
it's like, is this Joss Whedon
right there?
Oh yeah, right there.
I mean, it's
but even this too. Like we were talking about how it's cool that they're so much bigger than the average person.
Yeah,
they're taller. They're gods, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like he's like, hold my axe while I put my helmet on. I need to.
Yeah, all this place.
He's like, hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
Yeah, fucking I've got.
And the guy who played Zeus, I mean, he's just naturally ripped. So he's just like, I'm just wearing a strap, and that's like him. There's no special effects on him. He's just like, I'm just badass.
Wait, are they
obviously
this
his hands aren't
tall?
lit up.
Wait,
What's
are
that?
they? Is he this tall in real life? I mean, I know like fucking
No,
David Phillips.
I don't think
I
they're
feel
that
like they
big.
might have been extended for
But
CG.
Yeah,
I
that
liked
was definitely-
how with the gods that their hands were all lit up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How
Like-
their hands, the forearm up sort of illuminates. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
cool.
it's like, and they're like,
Cool
there's
effect.
this like band here that like it's like when you have drugs, it's like and it just lits up to there. It's like pretty cool. So it like doesn't like. I don't even know what I'm saying. Yeah, let's go on.
Okay, tight. Moving on. Let's see. So the third part that's coming up next week would be
Beloved mother, beloved son.
beloved mother, beloved son.
Fire.
And this is going to be a really good one because it's going to go deep into Cyborg's backstory, which is like really, really,
Deep into
really
this
cool.
dude right here.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Booyah! I meant
Ray Fisher.
Right?
like when they were gonna make the Cyborg movie, I had an idea for like promotion. It's like you should probably move to the theaters this Wednesday.
That would
like,
have
that's
been very cool.
I really
Yeah.
wish he would have gotten a solo film, and like maybe the Hive should have been the antagonist he would have went up against. That would have been
Or
sauce.
grid.
That's
But
an easy
I-
answer, but yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
just having him get his own solo movie, back when he was
Would have
supposed
been
to.
great. We're not
Yeah.
going to get a freaking Cyborg solo movie now.
Yeah, instead
No.
we're getting
Not unless it's the
Power
guy
Man
from
or-
not Titans.
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean
like
that's
how
the only
they-
one we're going to
I
get.
think
We're
even
going
then
with
it'd
that
be too
wheel.
hard.
Yeah, I liked how
he's-
like Ray Fisher supported that actor to like it was like from mother
Yeah,
from
he
another
did. He-
brother from another mother box.
Yeah,
speaking of Cyborg, there is a contest going on. Draw My Cyborg right now.
It is.
Yeah.
And that
But
is-
I did
that's
that.
gonna be a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of
I did a
fun.
drawing yesterday. Let's see if I can
I
find
can't
it.
draw, so
Yeah, I can draw. It's just not very good.
which means
I
you
can
can't-
draw, but just
Damn,
It's
damn,
not nice,
shots
man.
fired.
Not
I've
nice.
thought about it, but I haven't drawn in a while. Maybe I will. I don't know.
Let me see. So next week's episode should be really cool. Obviously, we all agree that the history lesson is much better in this version. Everything about it is much better.
Well, even like the interaction between Diana and Bruce is much more concrete and better. Like
Yeah.
even when
chemistry.
Diana walks in and up until the point where Bruce says, when Diana says the Age of Heroes will never come again, Bruce like reassures like it will, it has to.
it will.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
don't
You actually
don't.
feel that this time.
Yeah.
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 It's like, don't ever say that again.
Why did you say that? Man?
I don't know.
you say it?
Oh, what did Steve Trevor tell you to say that?
Like, doing it, like pushing you
Steve
into
Trevor
like,
tell you that, But
Yeah,
Steve
I remember the Trevor telling
tell
you
you
that
that.
horrible line.
God, Ben
Yeah.
Affleck looks so bad in Justice League. He's got like that pink skin, like it's so weird.
Well, I mean, it's oversaturated because they try
Yeah,
to
I
make
mean,
it more
yeah,
a
yeah,
brighter
it's
image.
oversaturated.
Right.
It looks like shit. He looks like shit.
Yeah,
Poor guy.
It honestly pisses me off.
Tell us how you really feel, sir.
He does. He looks like shit.
Yeah, you look like shit.
Tell us how you really feel.
He's also going through some exquisitely tough.
Something is definitely bleeding.
I mean, it looks
He was-
terrible.
He was also going through a lot of personal shit
He
too
was
during
going
that
through a
time.
lot of
It's
shit.
really,
Yeah,
it's really
yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah, it sucked ass, and yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
That's the fact, Jack.
It really is. But hopefully we get a chance to see him in his own solo project because that would be pretty badass.
Yeah.
Will that happen?
We
No.
only
No
we
one
can
knows.
only hope.
No one
We can
knows.
only hope.
hope.
I mean, like this kind of reminds me of like the Young Justice situation. Like when it was canceled, like on its
What's up,
second season, we saw Darkseid at the end, and then
Mhm.
years later, it came back. So it can happen again. So yeah,
Let me put it this way: I would much rather be invested in
So Jacob.
a Ben Affleck Batman that's nearing 50, as opposed to a Michael Keaton Batman that is over 70,
Yes.
yeah.
just over
Yes.
70. But because like, what do you do with his Batman? Like, what do you honestly do with Michael Keaton's Batman at this point? And I'm sure I could totally be wrong because I have no
Like,
idea.
You train the next.
Batman Beyond.
Yep. that's
Sure,
what you do.
but like,
Sure,
but as we're being
Yeah.
presented right now with the Flash, like, what are we really going to see? Like Michael Keaton's Batman do? Can he still fight?
No,
Like-
it's gonna be it's gonna be similar to Count Dooku in Revenge of the Sith. Where they had no.
How
They
dare
had
you?
another actor playing him, doing all the stunts.
You know what?
It's just
You're
like
right.
weird
Yeah.
lips and stuff. Oh god.
And no, literally Revenge of the Sith, like they just put his face on like a younger.
His
actor
big
doing
scene is going to be the courtroom scene, helping out Henry Allen. That's where he lives.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
isn't that going to be like a changed actor now? Because
It is. They got
Yeah,
Livingston now, yeah.
Office,
From
the Office, or Office.
Yeah, Ron
Space?
Livingston.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Real quick, I just want to. I know you guys. I don't know if you guys saw Matt Reeves' tweet earlier.
No.
What's up, Truth?
What up?
What
Truth?
up,
So
how's it going, guys?
I think, and this is before, if you can find it, Nicotino, what I'm saying. I think Warner Brothers has in
Lost
a
their minds.
well, yes,
They're like, they
in
took
a-
it down. Oh.
in a move to make sure that they have as many eyes as possible on DC fandom in a month. I think they've done some. They've told these directors, you can look. Zack Snyder used to just fucking, even when he was still working on Justice League, he would drop when he dropped the image of Mirror. Remember that shit?
Yep.
Oh, that's not it. My bad.
Well,
Hold
what
on.
the fuck? What?
what the fuck?
Wow.
He's like,
Yo, who did that?
that is my Batman. That is my Batman.
Yo, did you just make that, Andre?
No, I didn't. It was in the group chat.
That's
Oh.
funny.
Okay, so what I was saying was, I think in an effort to have like they're not allowing their directors to share anything because Andy Muschietti put something out yesterday to kind of this is what Matt Reeves posted earlier. Now, if you can realize that shot is from the trailer. That's the shot where he shoots it up there and goes up, and that's where everybody's like, "Oh, I think that's the quarter owls in the background when he's going up." Like, so this
Shout
is
out
from
to
the
Pale
trailer.
J.
This is nothing new. This is from the trailer. So I think that they have told the directors, you can't share anything or we'll fuck you up. Because remember, Zack used to share stuff. When Zack was still working on Justice League, he would put images out there.
Like I think he shared an image of him and Jason before production kicked off,
Yes.
like behind the scenes. Yeah,
I think Andy wanted to show us a picture of Michael Keaton's batsuit from The Flash today because it's Batman Day, and I think they told him no. Because I had yet to see that fucking image, and now you see Matt Reeves post something on, and he tries to say it's because of Batman Day, but why aren't you showing us anything new then? Like, what is like? I got it. You're still editing the movie. That's cool. But why would you even post? I think that Warner Brothers has told them, "Yo, we're coming down with a swift hammer if you share any new shit," because they want as many eyes as possible on DC fandom because they know that shit's gonna get outshined by Restore the Snyderverse hashtag wise that weekend. They're gonna
Yeah. So
they're gonna
they want
clap.
nothing to come out. Nothing.
No, they want when DC fandom happens, they want everything to be fresh and new. They don't want to share shit. Like why wouldn't two directors who are working on movies that involve Batman, Matt Reeves and Muschietti, why wouldn't they share just a tidbit? It's Batman Day.
Anything.
You know what I'm saying? It's why not? Because if it was up to them, I think they would have. But I think Warner Bros. Was like, nah, no. Don't.
It's like it's just Hamada and Toby, just.
Well, yeah.
Get that image of Dumb and Dumber, but with their faces. Get that image. That image.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, I do. Hold on.
Put it up.
I was looking at something else.
Yeah.
I was trying to find an image, but what the fuck is it? Here it is, right here. This one right here.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
They're like, no, you're not. This is not coming out. You're not releasing anything.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Like if you really, really think about it, like you have two directors who are going to have like a big stage of DC fandom who are both making movies. One of them is literally the Batman. The other one is the Flash with a large Batman presence. And neither of you share anything, just a tease. You can't show what Michael Keaton's back signals. Like you can't even show what is nothing. We can't see anything. Why not? That's I'm telling you, man. They know that, and because they changed it to what is it, like a 6-hour stream or some shit? It's 6-8 hours.
It's like 4, I think.
68 hours?
Because it's all we've got.
It's only a 4-hour stream. So, like, I think that the fact that they know that and that they're trying to, they want it to be big. But, yeah. So, for them not to show anything is kind of, If Zack Snyder was still working on Batman shit, we would have got something from him today.
Look how bad the blood looks on the symbol.
Looks like jelly. It looks like jelly from a jelly donut.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It's like that quote from Watchmen. It's like, is that
human being juice?
Is that human? It's human being
what they're doing, what they did here is like this is they're saying it's not Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah. That's what they were doing. It's not Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So don't get.
That's a huge waste. Honestly, that is the biggest waste.
Huge, big.
Honestly,
time.
like Flashpoint being a John story, I'm kind of on it.
Yeah,
but even then, the idea of it, I can appreciate, but not just like. And that I do like the idea of Jeffrey Dean Morgan being like Flashpoint Batman.
Yeah,
but just like it just goes back to John's. For me personally, I can't speak for anybody else, but
I mean, like, why would Johns not want to do Flashpoint? It's his own story. It's his story he wrote. But then again, I do want a Flashpoint movie.
Okay,
but again,
this is the reason why they're going with Michael Keaton versus Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Michael Keaton will put more butts in seats.
Correct.
That is true.
Yes,
that's it.
True.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan would be a better story, a more fire story, but Michael Keaton will put butts in seats. They want
purely for nostalgia. Yep.
That's it.
Clearly for nostalgia.
Look how dirty it is, though. I mean, look at it. There's all kinds of dirt marks all over it.
It's clear. Oh god.
You know what makes
It's
it
clear.
so bad?
Clearly has not been used in ages.
For this story, they literally had to reach out to Keaton to do this.
Didn't Keaton say he doesn't want to like do the movie because like he's busy with other stuff?
He was being coy with like the whole pandemic thing, or he didn't want to be around.
Yeah, he was. Cautious.
He's like, I got this cool gig over at Marvel. I'm the fucking Vulture. What do I want to do?
I'm saying like Keaton had to be approached though. Like he wasn't campaigning for this. Jeffrey Dean Morgan and what's her name?
Lauren Cohen.
Lauren Cohen are campaigning. Like we want to do Flashpoint. They're actively saying it in interviews. Keaton, they had to probably call him. They probably got his receptionist 17 times. And then he probably finally said, yeah, I'll do the damn thing. Jesus Christ. Y'all won't chill, so yes, I'll do it. While you have these other two actors who are great actors saying, let's do this fucking movie. And they're just like, eh.
They were like, let's go.
The people want you guys too much. They're like the fans.
Let's freaking go.
Yeah.
Let's freaking go.
They just want that nostalgia cheddar.
Yeah.
Who's the villain of the Flash movie? Is it going to be Flash?
I don't know.
The villain.
Wait, Flash is the villain?
Flash is the Flash. There's two Flashes.
See, and that's kind of going
right.
back.
Yeah, I remember you were saying about
that.
It's going to be like it's like going to be like from season 3 of the Flash. It's like it's Savitar. Yeah.
Well, actually, I think this is my theory. Is real quick. Is that I think it's he's going to run into his other self, the one with the longer hair, and that Barry is going to have his mom. And in order to reset the verse, he has to kill his mom. Or not kill his mom, but I mean, well, yes, kill his mom.
Yes, sure that his mother dies.
Which ultimately would kill his mom. So the Barry that has had his mom doesn't have that loss, so he's not that same kind of guy. So he's going to go up against, or and the Barry that from our universe is going to lose his powers, just like in Flashpoint, and they're going to work on trying to get that. Mm-hmm. And then when they do, because they're taking this Barry around, the audience is going along with them, and they're saying, okay, well, yeah, Barry's not going to, he's not going to betray Barry. He's not gonna, who's going to betray yourself? But I mean, if you're from a universe that you're like, yo, I'm the Flash, but then also I lost my mom, but I see you still have your mom, so I need to reset that shit. And so why would the Flash want to go along, or why would the other Barry want to go along with that? He's gonna. I think that's gonna be the conflict.
I think it might be based off like the New 52 Flash story where he like goes from like where he like goes up against like his future self, like he's all blue and stuff. It's basically that. I think that might be the case. I don't know. Like, why didn't they pick Reverse Flash? He was right there.
I feel like Reverse Flash is almost too easy at this point. And
honestly, yeah. I mean, I understand.
And personally, after after seeing like the Spider-Man films from Sam Raimi, after seeing the X-Men films from Fox, after seeing the Fantastic Four films, after seeing the Dark Knight, after seeing Superman Returns, and now like Man of Steel and the DCEU, I really just kind of wanted Flash to like kind of get his own solo treatment in that. Give him like the Captain Cold or the Top or Mirror Master, Captain Boomerang.
Yeah, Captain Cold was meant to be in the movie, like
right when Miura was going to be the director. I think.
Who was the actor gonna be?
I don't think they got that far.
Okay, relax. And
man,
what the
baby saving Flash?
That's
Flash
the worst.
Happens, I don't know.
The worst thing I've ever seen.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be like,
it's just concept
God.
art too.
And if it happens the way that Ryan is saying that it could happen,
didn't Michael Jackson do something like that with the baby?
I would be so mad at Ryan.
He held his baby outside of a window for photos and things like that, and because they did him wrong throughout his whole life, he's kind of messed up. So he wasn't really thinking that shit, I could actually drop my baby. Yes. Drop your baby.
And it's not like I've got a cool idea for maybe if Reverse Flash does appear, he should have purple lightning instead of red lightning, because Flash has got blue lightning, so it'd be a cool.
Well, that's if they make his lightning blue in the movie to begin with.
I'm against the rainbow lightning. It reminds me too much of Power Rangers, Jedi, whatever. It's why does your lightning need to be? It should just be based in physics and not.
Yeah, it actually is based in physics. Blue is the fastest because it's the highest color, and red is the slowest. But since Reverse Flash uses the negative speed force, it's you get the gist. But yeah.
No, it's we'll see how it turns out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's still gonna be a good movie. I'm still gonna watch it. I want to see what they put out.
I think you'll watch it.
No, but I'm saying
I have a good feeling a lot of people on this panel are probably gonna watch it.
Yeah,
I'm definitely watching it. I'm always gonna give everything a chance. Yeah.
But those who are saying I'm gonna boycott WB altogether. I don't think that's fair to the people who weren't even involved with all the bullshit that WB has done.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I've been seeing. A lot of Snyder fans are trashing other DC projects. I do want the Snyderverse restored, but I don't want to trash other projects who weren't even involved with the drama of WB. I mean, WB are a bunch of dicks, but
just because WB's trash does not automatically mean I'm gonna assume that Muschietti and his production crew are automatically racist in any way for not having Ray Fisher on that production in any capacity, because that's not his fault. That's Walter Hamada. That's Toby Emmerich. It's all the suits at WB just being F you. F the fans. We don't care. And it's you know what? F you.
Yeah. And it's also too with he said, nah, dude, I'm Muschietti anyway. There's no
there it is.
Don't know how hard he might have fought behind the scenes to keep Ray Fisher a part of this movie. You don't know because you just don't. But there's a dude that worked on the set of this movie that probably fucking, who knows what his personal life was like. He just had to, on the set, he just runs and wipes up shit off the floor or whatever. Is it his fault?
You talking about the janitors
or anybody who worked on this movie who are
the guy in Star Labs?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
the poor guy.
There are people who obviously when contracts are made, how successful this movie is depends on how much this dude might get a small bonus check to feed whoever the fuck. Is it his fault Ray Fisher's not in the movie? Zero fault of his. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna boycott a movie.
Exactly.
And there's so many people that the success of this movie, it hurts their pockets if it doesn't do good. It has nothing to do with Warner Brothers or anything.
Yeah.
Not about the fucking.
What's up?
5 bottles of lotion. I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm at least gonna watch it once. I will at least watch it one time.
If the movie feels completely disjointed because a character was supposed to be missing, I'm sure a lot of other people are probably going to notice too.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, they probably might have Cyborg, but probably just his head not appear like they had it with Superman.
Oh man, if they pull some Shazam shit with that would be so.
That would be the worst.
They would get more shit for doing that than not having him in it at all.
They'd probably just get a white actor to play Cyborg.
No, I would hope not. That would be terrible.
Yeah, I hope not either.
And here's the last before we go. That was a tweet that Zack put out. He actually put the cowl on his head.
I didn't see
get
this.
it on his head.
Great.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
I thought he gave that away.
No, he had one for himself. Remember, he's like, I have this one. I have one of my own, but this one is an extra one that I'm going to give
Dawson
away.
was the one who gave one away, and they had the wrong address.
This is the
He had
BBS
the wrong
Cal,
address. He ruined it for his fan. Yeah, I remember that.
Is this the BBS Cal or is this the Justice League Cal?
Man,
I think
what's
That
the
one.
difference? I mean, it looks pretty BBS.
It looks.
Yeah.
That one looks Justice
BBS.
League.
Yeah, it's Justice League.
Yes,
Justice League.
because of the ears.
Yeah, they're at an angle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the neck has
Oh,
more
okay.
definition on it too. But
And he's got that Crimean War photo behind him.
oh, I know. That's pretty cool. I mean,
that would have been interesting just as an Elseworld story, but I understand why they didn't do that.
well, and I also like the caption too. He goes, let's be honest. If you were left alone with it, you would do it too. Yeah, I mean,
He's
I
not
totally would.
wrong.
I'd be like,
Yeah, he is not wrong. He's spot on.
And he's
Yeah,
even
that's
doing it
what
behind
I'm-
the Wonder Woman 1854 picture. That's even more awesome.
and he's still
Yeah.
trolling.
Yeah.
He's like, bam.
Yeah.
But yeah, so definitely check out next week. We'll be watching part 3, which is
Beloved mother, beloved son.
thank you.
I
So
never
that should
know
be
if
really
that-
cool. I'll post the info on that as we get closer to it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, okay. And then
Damn it, Ryan.
obviously tune in this Monday for a Nicotini show because I have a segment that we're going to be doing because a lot of scoops have been coming out kind of crazy like lately. So we're going to go over those again in our segment called Legit or Bullshit. And we're going to talk about all the latest scoops that have been dropping from these websites. And we're going to let you know if we think that they're legit or if they're
Batman
just
gotta look like that,
straight.
man.
What's that?
Why Batman got to look like that? Well, I mean,
Does he look like a bitch?
yes, he does.
Yeah.
Which one?
Michael
Look
Keaton.
at Batman right there.
Wow.
Fucked up.
you made him look like that guy, Kurt Russell from when he was Cobra.
This is bullshit.
Because remember there was a whole thing about how he was going to be like a Nick Fury type.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why I
that's
put a
right.
stupid eye patch on him.
He was going to be the statesman of the DC universe. Multiverse. Sorry.
Yeah, the multiverse Avengers or the multiverse Justice League, and then there's going to be a Justice Avengers.
Oh, jeez.
The Avenging Justice League.
The Avenging League.
Jack's Truth's comments. Zack Snyder will be Flashpoint Batman. Mikey set and scooped this a month ago. Give him credit.
Yeah, no.
No, we're good. We're good.
No.
All right, you guys. Well, hey, thank you to everyone who came out here today. Phil Barker, Ryan Zeberfett, ACS Universe, Fear Jason, and Alex Droga.
It's Axel.
Axel Droga.
Come on now. Jeez.
Yeah.
We've been here for an hour. You don't know.
Exactly. Wow.
Super
All right.
fail.
All right. It is. So with that, we'll see you guys next week for part 3. And we'll see what else happens this week. And we'll talk about all this movie news on Monday on the Nicotina Show. Until then, you guys, we'll see you guys next time. Ryan, you want to send us out?
See you next time.